So section 5.4 is on the properties of logarithms. We've seen two of them already. It's the inverse functions. The logarithm base b cancels with the exponential function base b to give you the exponent. And that works composing both directions. B to the log base b of x equals x, and log base b of b to the x equals x. So we write those out first. I'm using b and a here. I actually prefer to use b for the base. Sometimes your text uses a. I don't know why. Usually people use a b. Anyway, those are the two inverse function ones that we saw in a previous section. These are called the inverse function properties. So these are properties of logarithms and exponential functions. Inverse function properties. Now, properties of logs. Log base b of the quantity a times c equals log base b of a plus log base b of c. That's super important to remember, so we'll have some exercises using them. That's called the product rule. Some people actually call it the sum rule. They're just looking at the right side instead of the left side. It says the log of a product equals the sum of the logs. Number 4 is the same thing, only with quotients. Log of a over c equals log of a minus log of c. So division will correspond with subtraction. This is called the quotient rule for logarithms. Then there's log base b of a to the r, and that the exponent on the inside, the exponent r is on the inside of the log. That becomes multiplication outside. So that is called the power rule for, or exponent rule, I guess they call it here. The exponent rule for logarithms. So you have to know these three. Very, very important. We use them all the time. You have to memorize them and know how to use them left to right, splitting something up, and right to left, combining into one logarithm. We use it both ways a lot. And same with all three of these. So kind of memorize them both ways. And then the sixth one is the change, what's called the change of base formula. So you'll notice on the left here we have base b, and on the right we have base c, a different base. Notice how this works. Log base b of a, you write in what you prefer the base to be, same thing, but you just change the b to something else. And then you have to divide by log with the same base that you just created of the previous base on the bottom. Okay, so that's the change of base formula. This section concentrates mostly on 3, 4, and 5, with maybe some 1 and 2. So in the reading or in the learn section online, you want to study, there's a little square, colored rectangle, and the title is correct and incorrect statements. Make sure that you look those over, and the things that say that are incorrect, don't do those. Because people make mistakes on these a lot, and they're not that hard as long as you don't start making up rules. Some things don't simplify, remember, so don't force them to simplify.